San Francisco's Chinatown is the oldest in North America, and so many people only spend about 45 minutes here. They grab a magnet, they take a picture at the Dragon Gate, and they consider it done. I'm Jill, a local who's down here quite often, and today I'm going to take you on a Chinatown walking tour where we're going to stop at 15 of the best experiences here that will make this one of the most memorable parts of your San Francisco vacation. Make sure to bookmark this, and let's go ahead and jump in.
Every great neighborhood deserves a great entrance, and Chinatown has one of the best in the city. The Dragon Gate sits at the corner of Grant Avenue and Bush Street, a gift from the government of Taiwan installed in 1970. The green glazed roof tiles, the hand-painted details, the gold dragons on top, it all signals that you're stepping into something special. It's where I tell everyone to start their visit here. Once you take a photo, walk through the gate. Grant Avenue is waiting on the other side. Grant Avenue has been Chinatown's main shopping street for more than 150 years. The storefronts are colorful and stacked with products. The signs are in English and Chinese. Silk robes, paper lanterns, jade jewelry, San Francisco t-shirts and souvenirs, it's all here. Two great spots to check out are Canton Bazaar and Old Shanghai. You'll find a variety of Chinese items, and each one is worth about 15 to 20 minutes of your time. My absolute favorite shop in this district is Fantastic Time Gift. They have colorful scarves and a local artist who does her work on site. She sells both original artwork and prints of San Francisco and China. She's not always there in person, but her artwork is always available. Walk one block west and you're on Stockton Street. And this is where the neighborhood actually lives. This is a working street. The sidewalks are narrow and busy, the produce stands spill out onto the pavement, and locals are here to get their shopping done. You'll see whole roast ducks hanging in butcher shop windows, live seafood tanks stacked at the door, vendors selling fresh herbs and vegetables, some you may not recognize. This is the most authentic 15 minutes you'll spend in Chinatown. Don't rush it. I'm taking you to Portsmouth Square next, and this one is also all about the locals. For more than 150 years, this plaza has been where the neighborhood gathers, and on any morning, you'll see exactly that. But it's not just about its history as a local gathering place. This park was also the site of the first public school in California, which opened in 1848. It shows you just how deep the neighborhood's history goes. You can't leave Chinatown without trying some dim sum. This is Cantonese-style small plate dining at its best. Steamed dumplings, rice noodle rolls, and barbecue pork buns. You have two options here. You can either find a grab-and-go spot so that you can sample different dishes as you explore the neighborhood, or you can also grab a seat and just focus on your meal. Some of my favorite places are Delicious Dim Sum, which is a grab-and-go spot, and Grant Place Restaurant, where you can sit down and enjoy your meal. And just a quick side note, if you really want to eat your way through Chinatown with someone who knows every hidden gem, a guided food walking tour is the way to go. And I've linked my favorite option in the description below. Don't miss Ross Alley. It's one of the oldest alleys in Chinatown and home to the Golden Gate Fortune Cookie Factory. Since 1962, they've been folding cookies by hand right here, and you can watch the whole process for free. Batter pressed onto a small iron, folded while still warm, while the fortune cookie is then slipped in before it sets. And the best part? You can also grab a fresh bag on your way out to snack on during your visit. And make sure you don't miss the adult fortune cookie version. They make for a fun gift or souvenir. The alley itself is also worth a photo or two. Another spot so many visitors miss is Old St. Mary's Cathedral. Built in 1854, it's California's first Catholic cathedral. It's one of only a few buildings on this side of San Francisco to survive the 1906 earthquake and fire. Step inside to check out its colorful altar, gorgeous stained glass windows, and its small history area in the back. Try to time your visit as a California cable car passes by. Hearing the cable car ring as you're standing inside this historic gem will make you feel like you've been transported back in time. Waverly Place is often called the most beautiful block in Chinatown, and the minute you see it, you'll know why. Flags, lanterns, colorful balconies, and locals. You'll find all of that here. You might recognize it as the backdrop for Green Day's Warning album cover. It's also the entrance for your next stop. Step off Waverly Place and climb the narrow staircase to Ten Hao Temple, one of the oldest Chinese temples in the United States, in continuous use since 1852. Ten Hao is the goddess of the sea, and this temple was a place of refuge for Chinese immigrants crossing the Pacific into an unfamiliar country. The incense reaches you before you hit the top step. Photos and videos are not allowed inside. Just put down the camera and take it all in. This museum is often overlooked, and it's a quick, fun stop if you love World War II history. The World War II Pacific War Memorial Hall is a small, free museum dedicated to the Chinese American soldiers who served. It won't take more than 30 minutes, but you'll leave with a much deeper sense of this community's role in this important war. Not too far away is the Chinese Historical Society of America, another exceptional stop. It's currently closed for renovations, so check their website before you visit. When it reopens, add it to your list. One of the things I love about this district is its colorful street art. You'll find it everywhere, along Grand Avenue, on the sides of buildings, tucked down alleyways. It ranges from traditional Chinese motifs to bold contemporary murals, and it changes regularly, so there's always something new to discover. There are a couple of great pieces on Commercial at Grant Avenue that I really love. Keep your eye open as you explore. Some of the best pieces are the ones you stumble onto. Jack Kerouac Alley is where Chinatown hands off to North Beach, and it does it beautifully. Chinese zodiacs all around, murals on the walls, quotes from Kerouac, Steinbeck, and Maya Angelou lining the path. Walk through and you emerge on Columbus Avenue, right between City Lights Bookstore and Vesuvio Bar. It's a 2-minute walk that connects two of the best neighborhoods in the city. And another side note on this one, if you want to explore both neighborhoods properly, there's a great combined Chinatown and North Beach walking tour that takes you through both. I've linked it in the description below. Interested in relaxing for a bit with a drink? I have 2 recommendations for you, and they are right across the street from each other. Li Po Cocktail Lounge opened in 1937 and is famous for its Chinese Mai Tai. They were the first to create it with rice wine, a trademarked recipe. It's sweeter, stronger, and slightly different from other Mai Tais. The interior is also a sight. It's dim, the decor is wonderfully eclectic, and the red lanterns remind you that you are still in the heart of Chinatown. Just across the street is the Buddha Lounge, another Chinatown institution. It's unpretentious and welcoming. I always end up staying here a bit longer than I planned. Another place I recommend checking out is St. Mary's Square. It's a small park with lush grass and several benches. It's usually quiet and a nice place to relax as you explore the district. It's also a great stop for history lovers who want to learn a little more about this community. The most important piece to check out here is the Comfort Women statue. It's a tribute to the hundreds of thousands of women and girls enslaved by the Japanese imperial forces between 1931 and 1945. Before I wrap things up, I want to talk to you about how Chinatown really knows how to celebrate. The Chinese New Year parade is in late January or February. The Mid-Autumn Moon Festival is in the fall. And on any given weekend, you might just encounter some sort of celebration. If you happen to hear drums or music playing during your visit, follow it. You might just stumble upon an experience you will never forget.